Why would you think they say that?
Because I don't think a lot of like you talking about nations.
I'm talking about you, and then like you, as in you as a church, as a Christian believer, as a God believer. Why is it better to just plant churches than just say let the person, tell a person to just go find God or go read the Bible or something
Because I guess they have to be introduced to
like that? Everything y'all saying is correct. It is the whole thing about isolation first. It is saying that just like how they so when they're searching for something and they're trying to fill it with something else, they don't usually do it by themselves. Most times people
Mhm.
go out. They go someplace where everybody's doing something who they can see emulate like, oh, they must be happy because they're having look like they're having fun. And so also if you want to say we're going to emulate God's love, we have to give them a place and show God's love. Like you can't they can't find it if they never see it on earth. So you can't tell somebody just go read the Bible and they will never have a picture or a something to see or something to go off for themselves either. They don't have a place where they can receive it and get given to them. Then it's not going to be as effective. It won't be as strong. It won't help as much. It will be like just out there still lost and alone. So that's why they're saying the churches to plant churches. Also that they also can find fulfillment in the church also because then they find a place for themselves. Like we talk about how everybody has a unique purpose and
Mhm.
they're called to do something and all that. They find that within the church. It's just like you said, you don't have a purpose, like you don't know what you're doing, so you just wandering around everywhere. But when you get into the setting now, somebody could speak to you and say, you know what, I see you. You're supposed to be an evangelist. You're gonna be a pastor. So now you find your niche. You're not searching for anything anymore. You're not fulfilling what you're supposed to be doing. So it gives you that fulfillment part right there in your purpose. So that helps battle the fulfillment. Also, they're talking about how it's not only on a small scale. Like when you think about it in the sense of, how to say it? Don't think about it just as it says individually. But it says individually, small group, and corporately, like as a congregation. Y'all need to be looking at establishing stuff so you can make an impact. This is part of, like you said, making a stamp on the world. You do that as an individual, as a small group, and corporately, so it has more effect. Individually, your friends. Small group to another group. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go like males, you can hit males. That's a small group. And then corporately, like I said, if we a church, we can hook up with other churches, establish things into the earth, and that way we put a stamp on what we're doing. It's a stamp now in the earth. Everybody got that? Anybody confused? Questions, comments on that first part? Agree, disagree? Oh, wait. Okay. All right. The second one, egocentric leadership. And for that, we go for Zechariah 10:2. Now, as we learned, it's kind of funny because it kind of ties into Malachi's and Brittany's stuff already. I think you'll see everything start tying together a little bit.
Mhm.
But this is talking about, of course, your attitude. Why is that important? Why did we already say that's important? Your attitude about it?
that. I think about this.
About leadership, yes.
Oh, so you could possibly affect the people that you lead. You said positive effect like my legislation.
Right. If you're egocentric, do you think,
Well, what's that in alphabet?
huh? Egocentric? When it's all about you. When your ego is saying, oh, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, or this is what I want, y'all should all be like me, and stuff like that. That's egocentric. And, okay. Anybody else has a reason why it's important? Okay. Okay. The other part is God grades you on how well of a leader you are. See that's one of the biggest things that people don't realize also when they're in that role of leadership. That you're getting a grade by God on how well you instruct, treat, handle his people that he sent to you. That's why the leadership role is so important. That's why when you get up to this status, people take it so serious. That's why Apostle takes it so seriously and wants us to be good leaders, because she doesn't want to equip y'all to fail. She doesn't want to make y'all leaders and then y'all can't lead effectively. It's a very important thing because you do get a grade on how well you lead. Like I get a grade on how well I do my job pertaining to y'all. If I'm treating y'all rush and harsh and y'all never want to be able to open to me and y'all are always wrong or y'all ever did everything wrong or y'all not like me and y'all don't think like me, then I'm not going to get a good grade by God. He's not going to honor that. Anything I'm trying to produce will not produce. So I meant to ask, what would you think what would be the opposite of that? What would you combat egocentric leadership with?
I think you word it a different way.
All right. If you're saying that a problem is everybody's egotistic, what would be the solution to somebody who's an egotistic person? What would be the opposite person? Like if I'm egocentric, who would you be here? Huh? Humble. Yep. That's humble. What else? Unselfish. Okay.
Generous.
Huh?
Generous.
Generous. Okay. The
Or
way.
like somebody like this open-minded.
Okay. See, dang, this is the hard part right now because, like I said, we already talked about a lot of this. But okay, what they gave, and it's a sum up of everything we said, and it's basically what y'all are doing now. They say that the way to combat that is actually equipping servant leaders. That's what we're doing right now. So that way, you know when you're going in the wrong direction. That way, you know when you're not focused on God, but you're focused on yourself, on what you want to get across. That way, you know when you've made it too big and your head is boom and is no longer doing what it's supposed to be. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. We have to equip you in the right manner that you know, instruct, guide. Don't let you stand by yourself even as a leader. You're not supposed to be by yourself. You're supposed to have a council. You're supposed to have people around you who know, who've been in it longer or done it before to guide you. Because anybody is not saying that your intent even was going to be like, oh, it's all about me. But it can easily switch that way. Why? Because we're human. We like the attention sometimes. We like people knowing our names. We like everybody knowing who we are and coming to us and saying we're great. Nobody. I'm sorry. I believe if I come up to you and be like, oh my gosh, you were wonderful. Whatever you did, it was great and it worked in my life. People like that. I don't care who you are. You're gonna like it. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody came up to me all the time and said that, it will go to my head real easy. So it's when we equip you, we're equipping you so you don't do stuff like that. We're equipping you so you stay grounded in why you're doing it, why you're a leader. So equipping is the biggest way to go against egocentric leadership, because like we also said, leadership is not one place. It keeps on growing. So you might be equipped right now for this ministry, but I'm still need equipping. Like say right now I might be equipped now. I'm not saying I am, not saying I'm not. I'm saying even if I'm equipped right now, if I'm going to another place at a higher level, I'm still going to need equipping in that. So it's always equipping me. It's not just saying I'm equipped and that's it. My equipping just keeps on going with the levels I keep on going with. And the same thing with y'all. Just like you don't just stop your education because you're no longer in high school. You can go to college and you can get, when you go there, you have to get more training. If you want to be a doctor, you still have to get more training. If you want to be a lawyer, you have to get more training. So the higher levels you go as a leader,